Welcome back to the Hoke English Academy podcast, where we bring you the best insights from expert teachers and practical tips to boost your English skills. Whether you're mastering business English or expanding your conversational skills, we've got you covered. Let's get into today's episode.
All right, so you've sent in all this stuff about small talk, this English lesson materials about mastering it. Clearly, someone wants to level up their conversational skills, which I love. But it's funny, right? Like, how many times have we heard, ooh, small talk?
Yeah.
Like it's some kind of torture.
It really does have a bad reputation. Like, why is that? What if I told you most of the awkwardness? It all comes from this misunderstanding of what small talk is actually about.
Okay, tell me more, because now I'm really interested.
It's all about building rapport.
Rapport. I'm getting like really stiff handshakes, like all that business jargon.
Right. But it doesn't have to be that way. Think about it this way. You're meeting someone for the first time, and both of your brains are going a mile a minute trying to figure the other person out. Like, those first impressions really matter. And small talk is how we deal with that uncertainty and find those first little connections.
So it's less about what you're actually saying,
Right.
like the weather or whatever, and more about what those topics let us do.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the whole building rapport thing fits in. The lesson plan talks about it with sales calls, right?
Right. Like how salespeople use it to connect before they give you their whole pitch.
Totally.
Okay.
But it's useful beyond just sales. Like, imagine your first day at a new job. You're in the elevator with a coworker, and you say something about the traffic, and they respond and say they take the train, and boom, you're talking. Now there's a little familiarity.
So those little chats can actually be really strategic, like they could actually be important for building relationships. But the guide you sent, it has all these practical tips about being interested in the other person.
And that is so important. Honestly, one of the most important things about small talk, it's not about some script you have to follow. You have to actually be curious about the person. And those tips in the materials, they can help you do that.
Yeah, it's less about what you say than, right, it's more about how you're saying it. Like even boring topics can become interesting if both people are engaged.
Totally. It's all about making people feel comfortable so they share a bit about themselves. And this is probably the best tip in the guide. Put away your phone.
Oh my God, yes. Put those devices down.
Yeah.
I am so guilty of that. I have the best story about this.
Let's hear it.
So I was having coffee with my friend, and they're telling me about this new person they were seeing. And I was trying to listen, but then my phone buzzed, and it was a video of a pug sneezing. You know, the kind of, so of course I had to look. But then I completely missed what my friend said. They asked me something about their love life, like if they should keep seeing this person. And I totally missed it because of that pug video.
Oh, no. Did they forgive you?
Yeah, eventually. But seriously, put the phone down. It's not just about being polite. You're showing the other person you actually want to be there with them.
Exactly. And that brings us to active listening.
Yes. The guide really went into detail about that, like nodding your head, making eye contact, using those small words to show you're listening. It's more than just hearing what they're saying. You're showing you understand them.
And showing you understand can really change things. Think about a time someone really listened to you. It makes you feel validated and seen. And then you want to share even more.
Right. It all goes back to building rapport.
Exactly. And then once you have that connection, you can start asking those deeper questions, the open-ended questions.
Yes, I wanted to talk about that. What even makes a question open-ended? Like, what's an example? Okay, give me an example. I'm ready. The lesson plan compares closed questions with open-ended ones. And wow, what a difference.
Right. Closed questions are like dead ends. You get a short answer, maybe just yes or no. But open-ended questions, they make the other person elaborate and share their thoughts and feelings.
So instead of, do you like movies? It's, what's your favorite movie and why?
Exactly. The first one doesn't really go anywhere, but the second one, it opens up so many possibilities. It shows you want to know more than just one word. You're interested in them.
So we're connecting with them. And all we did was ask the right question.
Right. It's like you're saying, tell me about yourself, I'm listening. That can be really powerful.
So we've done active listening. And the open-ended questions. Now, what about responding with enthusiasm? That's the last tip. I mean, that seems pretty simple. Is it more than just smiling and nodding?
Yeah, there's a little more to it. It can't be fake. You have to actually be engaged and interested. And you show that with your voice and your face, even your body language.
So like enthusiasm is contagious.
Exactly. If you're excited and interested, the other person will be too.
We're communicating so much without realizing it. All those little things can really change a conversation.
For sure. And speaking of those little things, what about those awkward silences?
The worst. The lesson plan talks about those. And touchy subjects. And things that are in poor taste. And those are harder than just smiling and nodding.
Yeah, they're a little harder. But these tips can help. It's all about being aware of the culture and being smart.
Okay, tell me more.
So those awkward silences, you don't have to panic. Just think of something to say. Maybe mention something you talked about earlier. Or bring up a new topic. Or just say, tell me more about that.
You just need a few things you can say to keep the conversation going.
Right. Touchy subjects are a bit different. These are things that might make people uncomfortable, like salaries or politics or religion.
So don't talk about those.
Especially when you're first meeting someone. But it depends on who you're talking to, of course.
Right, you can talk about more with close friends.
Yes, pay attention to how comfortable the other person is. And respect their boundaries.
Okay, and then there are things that are in poor taste, like offensive jokes.
Right. And those are hard because they're different in every culture. What's a joke in one place might be offensive somewhere else.
So be aware of who you're talking to.
Yes. Knowing that is a sign you're really good at conversations. It means you're thinking about other people's feelings.
I'm learning so much. Small talk isn't just about filling the silence. It's about connecting with people and building relationships.
I like that. And remember, the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Maybe we can even learn to like small talk.
Maybe. So we talked about the lesson plan for English speakers. What about other cultures? What do you think?
That's a good question. So much to learn. Well, that's all the time we have. We hope you learned something about small talk. And we hope you can use it to be more confident. Until next time.
Thanks for tuning in to the Hoke English Academy podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. For personalized English lessons and more learning resources, visit us at hoke.school. See you next time.